Today we're going to be talking about proportion relationships in terms of using graphs. Your objective today, I will demonstrate my mathematical ability to decide which two quantities are proportional to each other by graphing on a coordinate plane and whether a graph is proportional. And we're going to do this through class discussion. Alright, let's look at the first problem. Isaiah sold candy bars to help raise money for his scouting troop. The table shows the amount of candy he sold to the money he received. Is the amount of candy bars sold proportional to the amount of money he received? Well, first I'm going to put a box around the word 2. So I need to know it's going to be candy bars over money. So it's going to be 2 over 3, 4 over 5, 8 over 9, and 12 over 12. Okay, well this is in simplest form, this is in simplest form, so is this one equals 1. Now, remember we talked about that's how I should do it. Now, yesterday it was mostly y over x. It's really important to go back to the problem and ask, where is that word 2? Find out what is in the numerator and what is in my denominator. So I have 2 over 3, 4, I have 2/3, 4/5, 8/9, and I have 1. They are not equal, so it is not proportional. It's not proportional because there's nothing in common. Alright? Let's look at our next problem. Okay. So I want to take that same idea, the candy bars to money. So candy bars to money. But I want to make a table that is proportional. So I have 2/3. Well, if I go to 4/6, that equals 2/3. If I go to 6/9, and then if I go to 8/12. Okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to take this information and I want to plug it on this graph. Alright? Well, the way we're going to do that is we've got to label certain things. We've got to label the origin. Remember, the origin is at 0, 0. My x-axis is I'm going to label as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And my y-axis, or y is to the sky. Okay, it's really important that we understand the difference between the y and the x-axis when we're graphing, because if you graph them differently or wrong, it will be wrong. Alright? Now, these are like ordered pairs here. Remember our ordered pairs, I could write this as, let me write it right, as 2, 3 as my ordered pair. Well, that's what this XY table is. This is my ordered pair, so I'm going to go over 2, up 3, and put a dot. I'm going to go over 4, up 6, and put a dot. I'm going to go over 6, up 9, and I'm going to go over 8 and up 12. Okay? Now I need to determine whether this is a straight, or if this is proportional. I know it's proportional from the chart because I know I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm multiplying, I'm multiplying or dividing by 2/3 depending on which way I'm going on this chart. Well, there's two things that we need to look at. The first thing is if it forms a straight line, okay? So if I was to connect a dot here, if I was to go and get my line tool here, and make sure I have the right line that I want, okay, and I start here at the origin, and I draw my line right up through here, okay, it forms a straight line. So the points lie on a straight line, that's part 1. Okay, part 2 is it must pass through the origin. And what is the origin? And the origin is at 0, 0. And that simply means, we go back to this candy bar example, if I don't sell any candy bars, I don't gain any money. If a proportional relationship, if it starts at any one of these other points, it's not proportional because it has to start at 0, 0. And it must pass these two requirements. Okay? Let's look at this graph. This one's is a little different. Okay? And I want to see, is this a proportional graph? Well, here's the chart. Sometimes the charts are confusing, so we can take it to the graph. I took it to the graph. I've already plotted the dots here for you. So we look, I've gone over and I've done 2, 3, 4, 6. We did 8 twelfths, and then I did 12, 14. It looks like, from the very beginning, it looks like it, but look what happens. And if I was to connect these lines, okay, my line tool is not as straight as I want it to be. But then I go like that. Okay? For the most part, well, it is straight. I just couldn't draw a straight line from here to here. However, it goes back a little ways here and it's not proportional. So this would not be proportional. Not proportional. Why? It's not proportional because it is not a straight line. And of course I can't spell. Okay? Because it does pass through 0, 0, but it's not a straight line. Okay? Let's look at another problem. Well, here's a problem for you. Now this one is a little different. Look at it and try to see, does it follow our two rules? Is it a straight line? Well, if I go and connect them, let's see what happens. If I connect them here, well, that passes criteria number 1, right? It's a straight line. However, does it pass through the origin? Remember, the origin's way down here, and it started right here. So this is not proportional because it does not begin at the origin. So it's not proportional. Let me erase that. Okay, let's try this again. It is not proportional because it does not pass through the origin. Let's review real quick. What are the characteristics of the graphs of proportional relationships? What are the two things that we must have in order for them to be a proportional relationship? Well, number 1, they must lie on a straight line. Okay? If it is any other line besides a straight line, it's not proportional. So that's check number 1. Check number 2 is, does the line go through the origin? Remember we said the origin is at 0, 0. Okay? If it does not follow these two guidelines, these two rules, it is not proportional. Make sure you guys do your WISC form, bring your WISC question to class so we can have our discussion. And I will see you guys all in class on Monday.